Hey everybody, Michael Fabiano here from Sports Illustrated Fantasy with your Fabs 5 trends you need to know from week 11. Let's start off at number 5 with Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, believe it or not, but Jimmy G has scored the second most fantasy points among quarterbacks in the last 4 weeks. Yeah, really, it's Jimmy G. Now, I'm not sure if that has more to do with the state of the quarterback position, but he has 8 total touchdowns and a 113.2 passer rating in that time. And if he keeps playing well and the Niners keep winning, we're not going to see Trey Lance under center anytime soon. By the way, Garoppolo has a pretty good matchup this week against the Vikings, so he's a nice streamer or DFS option. At number 4, Myles Gaskin. He's developed a really odd trend, folks, and he's made it one of the easiest players to predict from a fantasy football perspective. He has failed to score more than 8.6 fantasy points in any even-numbered week, but he scored double-digit points in every odd-numbered week, and over the last 4 odd-numbers weeks, he has averaged 20.9 fantasy points. This week is week 12. That's an even-numbered week, which means you want to sit him against the Carolina Panthers. They have a very tough defense. So Gaskins is a fade for me this week. You know what? Sometimes, folks, predicting fantasy football is as simple as looking at the trends. At number 3, Elijah Moore. Man, he has really emerged into a fantasy superstar in recent weeks. 27-plus points in 2 of his last 3 games. He saw a career high 11 targets last week, had nearly 30 points against the Dolphins. But here's the most important stat. He played 49 snaps based on PFF, and he's put some distance between himself and Keelan Cole in that department. That's big for the rookie. So with a matchup upcoming against the Texans, Elijah Moore is a virtual must-start, or at least a very good flex option. At number 2, hey, Brandon Aiyuk is back, folks. Remember earlier in the season he had those struggles? People were actually putting him on the waiver wire. Well, he is firmly back on the fantasy radar, scoring 21.5 fantasy points last week against the Jaguars. He's now put up 18-plus points in 2 of his last 3 games. He's played 88% of the Niners' offensive snaps in the last 4 weeks, and he's got the Vikings upcoming. So Brandon Aiyuk goes from a guy that we maybe were putting on the waiver wire to someone who is a very good start for week 12. And at number 1, let's talk about Miles Sanders and the Eagles' offense, right? In the first 7 games of the season, the Eagles ran the ball 39% of the time. They averaged 23 carries and 116 rushing yards per game. Now let's fast forward to the last 4 weeks. During that time, they've run the ball 67% of the time. That's a league high. They've also averaged 43.5 carries and 217.5 rushing yards per game during that 4-week span. That's unbelievable. And that change in offensive philosophies should really be good news for not only Miles Sanders, but Jalen Hurts moving forward. And those are my Fabs 5 trends you need to know from week 11. Hey, folks, have a great Thanksgiving. And of course, make sure you set those fantasy football lineups ahead of time, and we can help you right here at si.com/fantasy.